And support is very vital to any type of recovery, whether mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, environmental. Everybody needs a support system. People that we can trust, to be there without judgment, to hear us out, everything that we're feeling, sensing, going through, our perspectives without, trying to, diminish a part of us within ourselves that we're trying to find. Because usually, any type of addiction is kind of like leading you down a path where you're kind of going farther away from yourself, your true sense of being. Some people, they do not have a sense of who they are at all, because maybe it could be from their lifestyle, their family, growing up, they weren't taught certain things, and, about the importance of who they are as an individual, how special they are, how, much value they have within themselves, how much value is out there in the world that they can find, pieces of themselves to become a whole person, inside and out. So it's just, being able to help people, guide them in this way of providing, good resources, good insight, good, unbiased, perspectives on everything that, can help them see their options, help them see that there are so many different ways to come out of, our adversities, these challenges. There's so many different things we can try. And, myself included, I've, done everything I could with options, balanced weight, pros and cons, everything. It's just this type of mindset that you develop in going through certain types of addictions. It's very intricate, very sophisticated. And the thing is with, sophisticated thinking is that it's so complex. So complex. There's just so many fine details that you go over and over, the fine print of things. And that tends to weigh heavy because you're looking at everything. You're all over the place. So it's like when you're going through certain types of your trauma, coming out of that, trying to understand it, trying to understand your own psychosis, everything behind what you do, your actions, your behaviors, the way how other people behave around you, that takes so much energy. It takes so much energy to dissect everything, because sometimes things are just so wrapped up, so wound up, so in knots, to where you are fighting to break free and unloosen all of that strain, that stress. The knots are so tight. You just feel like a grip on you, something that you just can't escape. So you just keep trying and trying and trying to find something just to just take everything apart. But once it's apart and you look at the whole thing, it's such an overwhelming feeling, an overwhelming experience to see all these things laid out. And you're like, oh, I made such a mess. How do I fix this? How do I put all this back together? Do some of these parts even belong there? These ties, how do I, sever all these ties and undo all these knots within myself that are holding me down, that are keeping me from being my greatest self that I can be. When you're having addictions, it's like all that is just leading to that. It's just not allowing you to have a clear perspective on how to undo everything and put everything back together, And so sometimes when you are going through certain types of recovery, from addictions, behaviors or traumas, whatever it may be, it is vital to have somebody there to help you look at things. To help you look at things without, like I said, judgment. There can't be any judgment. Whether you have a mental disorder or, anything. It's the human soul. It's just such a beautiful, very complex thing when we get down to the very core of it, and how much we're really able to understand at a subconscious level. Sometimes it takes our experiences to get back into that, the core of who we are, to realize, like, hey, a lot of these things, we were conditioned to be. A lot of things we're taught that were negative, about ourselves, about others, about the world, about everything in life. If we were able to clear all that up and just really look at things for what they are, look at things from a perspective of, like, hey, I can see this right here, that right there, what's going to work for me, to help me get out of a situation that is very damaging to me. Some people, they don't have experiences of good things. So it's like when it hits them, they're like, what's this? So it's like they're trying to learn things from different angles. Is this good for me? Is that good for me? Is this a good habit? Is that a bad habit? What will this lead to? Will it cause me to relapse? So it's just all of it is really an intricate process. And when I see everybody going through those types of addictions, and they're really, feeling in themselves that they're so messed up, that they're not perfect. They are. They are mastering the intellect. They're mastering the psychology of the human conditions. We each master a certain different type. Some people master the condition of what it's like to be, someone who's gone through childhood abuse, or somebody masters what it's like to go through constant poverty. Somebody masters what it's like to go through rape. Somebody masters what it's like to, go through abandonment and come out of that, feeling healed, feeling whole in themselves and complete. So it's like we're learning the psychologies behind things that affect us in this life. And we're untying all these knots, cutting cords, everything, breaking free in order to really see ourselves, as people not so wrapped up and wound up, suffocating in this net of, lies, deceit, anger, resentment, guilt, blame, shame, all these emotions that tend to plague us and just really eat away at us sometimes and make us feel like we are not worthy. Like we are not worthy of good things. But see, that's the thing, is that we were created to be creators, with our will to succeed in life, to survive. How do we survive this life in the best way we can? How do we do that? that it's not damaging to our mind, to our spirit, to our love, that's not damaging to our state of viewing and perceiving other people. You know, it's not damaging to our outlook on life. It's not instilling fear within us to, give us an inability to face these things. Face these obstacles, these choices, these decisions that we have to make in life. It's for survival of the fittest. And you don't get fit unless you keep exercising. Gotta exercise this up here. Gotta exercise your spirit. You do not get fit for life if you do not keep practicing. Keep trying. Every time you get down, get broken, get back up and get up. Again and again and again. This is how you exercise your abilities. Every time you get stronger, you get a little quicker, you get a little more resilient in coming back. Back from a lot of negative things. You're building up this ability to be able to contain so much information pertaining to this certain type of life path, these skills that are required of you to, be able to navigate into safer, calmer waters. It's it's a very tiring process. And I really have so much admiration for people who are doing the work on themselves, trying to be better people. We're not perfect, but we can try our best to be decent within ourselves. We can try our best to be loving to ourselves every day, be more gentle, be more kinder, to what it is we're going through, what we're trying to process, what we're trying to understand within ourselves and other people.